the Dark Fantasy riff. If you've heard that, it's probably part of the Dark Fantasy trend, but I do believe that song's called Hide by an artist named Dorian Concept. But that riff got really popular, and I figured many of you might want to learn it. So this is a arrangement that works well for guitar, and I figured we could just zoom in on the individual parts with the tab on the screen. So you'll notice on the tab, the very first thing is an open A string, and then you go to the second fret on the D string. But be careful, use your middle finger to catch that second fret, because that's gonna leave your index and your ring and your pinky open for everything you need at the end of that line. So it's gonna look something like this. That next part, use your middle finger again to catch fret 3. Now this, I use my index and my pinky to catch this hammer on. Because you'll notice after you slide up to 7, you have to come back down to 3. So it's a little bit easier to do this stretch with your pinky to your index. So then after that, we're gonna come right up here. It's gonna be pretty straightforward fingering, but there's a few tricky things to watch out for. I do that hammer on with my pinky because we're gonna need your middle finger to do the slide. So it's gonna look something like this. Because you need now your index finger to catch fret 3 on the E string. But then that next part's pretty easy. It's just an open D string, and then you're hammering on with your ring finger. And there's that descending line that should ring a bell. So altogether, that little second half of the opening looks like this. So the whole opening is going to use the following fingering, just so you can make sure you catch each note in the tab. So then you're going to move into the second half of this little riff. It's the same notes, but it's higher up the neck. So you're starting off the same way. Again, I recommend using the middle finger on fret 2. But now, instead of doing this, instead of catching this G, you're gonna slide right up to that G. So that's fret 8 on the B string. So then once you're up here, you're gonna use your middle finger on this is a C note, but it's fret 8 of the E string. And then this is really important. You're gonna pick out like normal your top 3 strings, but then you come right back down with your pinky to fret 8 of the B string. Because use your pinky so you can catch this slide with your index finger. And then your middle and ring finger are just gonna come down into a nice little, kind of like an angle on 7, 8, 9 to end that line. So this next bit is a little tricky, but you're gonna use your index finger to catch fret 7 on the A string, and then you're gonna hit an open B string. But right after that open B string, it gets a little tight, you gotta use your middle finger on fret 7 of the G string. And then after that, you gotta use your ring finger. Now you're pressing down on the B string, but also on fret 7. So here it is all together. Because from there, you're gonna start your slides. And if you use the fingering the right way, if you have index on the A string, you end up with middle on the G string, and you end up with ring on the B string. You can slide with your ring finger, and then you have your pinky ready to go on the E string. So altogether, that looks like this. And then this next bit gets a little easier. Once you're up here, you just have an open G, and then fret 12 on the D string, and then fret 11 on the G string. And then you just start your descending slides. I recommend using your pinky to go from 12 to 10, because then you have your index finger ready to go from 8 to 7. And then that same little angular chord, you just have to do 7, 8, 9. And then that wraps it up. So altogether, that second half looks like this. So then altogether slowly, first and second half. Cool, and then I think the trend's at different tempos, so you can try different things, whatever's most comfortable, but it's kind of like a fun puzzle to figure out. That's why getting the fingerings is really important. So you'll notice you'll kind of paint yourself into a corner if you don't start on the right ones. And then just, I guess, a real recap, we're gonna highlight the tough stuff. Middle finger to start you off on this shape. Really important. Then when you do your slide, try to slide with your pinky. Up here, hammer on with your pinky. Slide there with your middle finger. That's more flexible, do that however you want. And then again, make sure your middle finger's on fret 2. Up to fret 8. Pinky. I got index, middle, and ring. That slides with the pinky, and then just open. Pinky slide down. So then all together. Have fun with that one. I appreciate y'all checking it out. Take care.